All right, what's going on, everybody? And oh, dude, I really didn't want to talk about this again. I've made like 3 or 4 videos on this at this point, and it's just getting really frustrating. Jon Jones is being petty, and the UFC is just getting walked all over by Jon Jones for whatever reason. So I'm going to be reacting to everything that's been happening recently with Jon Jones's interviews, his Twitter rants, all of that, him doing questionable things in Russia, in Thailand. We'll get to that too. I'm going to be covering all that and giving my reaction to it. But real quick, before I get into the video, 96% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if like UFC, influencer boxing, or pro boxing content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least. So make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you. So Jon Jones has been on a recent humiliation tour for the UFC where he just keeps making them look worse and worse. Basically, the most competitive he's being is actively avoiding defending his belt as a champion of the UFC and just dogging the UFC, saying that it's their problem, not his. But before I get ahead of myself, he was on Deep Cut. I forgot what this guy's name is, but he gave a good interview. Let's see what he had to say in this clip about fighting again.
Could we expect one more rodeo?
I don't know what life holds as far as fighting, competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches or things like that.
Or wrestling with boys in Thailand. Sorry.
There's a lot of great competition still in the UFC. I do view myself as more than a fighter. And being in my position, I feel like I have a lot more options than a lot of the other fighters as far as the ability to leave and return and things like that. And so right now, I'm just focusing on love, happiness.
Oh, we know. We've seen the bike video. Hold up. I'll pull.
This year should be a really special year.
Yeah. So take the fucking belt off, you idiot, if you're not going to fight. But anyways, I'm glad you brought that up because this is what he'd be doing. This is exactly what he's talking about right here. Hold on, let me pull it up. Oh, he's about love, all right.
Далик уже взял свою команду Джонса. Все, он моей команде, my team, let's go!
That's UFC champion Dana White. Fucking, oh god, dude. I'm not gonna dog on his preference too much because I feel like this is a little bit fucked up. It's just funny. It's just funny with how he said, oh, I'm just loving right now. We can tell, John. We can tell. But it really is really frustrating because he talks about it like it's so optional for him. And it's really not going towards any positive direction where he's going to face anybody. It seems like he just wants to face Pereira because he knows he could tap him. But he doesn't want to take a challenge. So it's just the dumbest thing ever, dude. And I don't know why the UFC isn't stripping him. It's so obvious. I'm going to pull up another clip. We're going to go back to back here. One take Drake over here. We're going to go with this clip right here. This is the energy that Dana White used to have with active UFC champions. This is when George St. Pierre even hinted at retiring after his fight. And this is what Dana said instantly right after the fight. Same night, by the way. Same night.
Not giving Johnny a I'm upset about him. Listen, when a guy wants to retire, I mean, did he say he wants to retire? He didn't say, I'm going to retire, I'm hanging it up, it's been great, everybody. Thanks a lot for all the years, see you later. He said, I'm going to take some time off, and I'm going to... It's enough. First of all, that decision that happens, right? You don't just say, hey, I'm going to take a while off, maybe I'll be back, maybe I won't. You owe it to the fans, you owe it to that belt, you owe it to this company, and you owe it to Johnny Hendricks to give him that opportunity to fight again. You've not given Johnny a
So, okay. So he doesn't own it. So Jon Jones doesn't owe shit to people in general. Maybe this is TKO that's doing this with Jon Jones. They're just holding on to the super fight with Aspinall, and they're just letting Jon walk all over them. But this is the energy that Dana used to have with champions. Now all of a sudden they're getting walked all over, and it's not like we're talking about any fighter here. George St. Pierre is one of the GOATs debatably too, right up there with Jon Jones and Demetrius Johnson. Those are the 3 names that people usually say. So it's not even like, oh, it's because it's Jon Jones. It should have been, oh, it's because it's George St. Pierre, if that's the case. Because at least George St. Pierre was natural during his career. That's all I'm saying. And it's not like the community isn't trying, because they are. Tony Has Died, who has a legendary Instagram meme page, by the way. You guys should go follow him. He started a petition to strip Jon Jones, which is currently at 153,000 signatures, which is crazy. It also got shared by Tom Aspinall recently, so probably going to skyrocket further. And Jon Jones has responded to this whole petition situation with this. Just wrapped up the biggest seminar in Puckett history. Half the crowd flew in from the UK. How wild is that? Massive shout out to my guy Tom for all the free promo. Couldn't have done it without you. Seriously though, I am beyond grateful for the new UK following. You guys showed up with so much love and energy. I felt every bit of it. Let's keep this momentum going. Make sure to sign that petition today. We're pushing 200K. How exciting. This is what I mean, man. Like, his attitude towards the whole situation, it's embarrassing for the UFC. He is spitting in the UFC's face. He's spitting in the fans' face. This is a company that used to really care about what the fans think, but apparently they're just holding on to the payday of a massive fight. That's what it really seems like. Because at this point, of course, Jon Jones is to blame for the situation. He's being a bitch, but the UFC isn't helping themselves at all. It's becoming the UFC's problem because obviously we don't know everything that's happening behind the scenes, negotiations. Maybe they're not giving them the right amount of money. I think they did. I think that they called Jon Jones' bluff and he's still ducking. That's personally what I think. It's just his attitude towards the situation, man. It's really, really upsetting. Like, this is supposed to be some people's GOAT. Like, this is ridiculous. This is probably the craziest duck job I've ever seen in fighting, period. Period. Have you ever seen anybody duck like this before? Like, the most frustrating thing is in the past, he's even said it. He doesn't want to lose. And I'll say it for him, since he doesn't want to straight up say it, he knows he'll lose. He knows he'll lose. So he's not going to take the risk of gambling his legacy to put up an up-and-coming fighter. Not an up-and-coming fighter, the interim champion, by the way. It's the most frustrating thing, him belittling Tom, even though Jon Jones has never been a finisher like Tom Aspinall ever in his career. Yeah, Jon Jones had some nasty ground-and-pound finishes, and he had that sick standing choke, I think it was against Machida. All sick. He wasn't dashing out people in a minute like Tom Aspinall is, and he wasn't as dangerous as Aspinall currently is. And I feel like in a way he knows that, and he's being petty, and he's being petty in a way where he likes that he's wasting Tom's career right now. That's why he seems so happy giddy about everything, because he's the champion of the UFC and he doesn't need to do anything. He's just farming legacy with holding the belt for a certain amount of days. He's defending it one time. He's defending it one time against Stipe. Stipe 5 to 10 years ago, that would have been a cool fight. You could even debate that Stipe might have won that fight because Jon wasn't a true heavyweight at the time. But, man, it's just frustrating. That's all I can say. And this is the type of stuff where I say this is a humiliation tour for the UFC, because there was an interview with Jon Jones and Nate Diaz because they're doing this, like, spoof Tough Enough thing in Russia. So, let's see what they had to say in this interview.
I don't even know if they're going to start directly on my team.
Unless you know them, right?
I hope this guy does, man. I don't give a fuck.
Same. I don't lose sleep over who wins.
I'll give a whole explanation on that, but I don't give a fuck.
I barely watch it. I barely watch it.
No,
that's my weight class.
Who are all the people? You don't even know
A lot of people that we don't know.
Everybody's gone. It's like a whole new generation. Like, everybody's got potential, but it's like slow moving right now.
I mean, come on. Like, come on. Like, this is supposed to be the UFC champion of the world of the heavyweight division. Oh, I only watch my weight class. Like, there's not really anybody interesting right now. He's straight up saying that the UFC is shit right now. Well, obviously not exactly what he's saying, but that's what he's hinting at. He's saying that the UFC isn't building new stars. Basically. When Tom Aspinall's right in front of his fucking face. It's so crazy. It is so nuts. He has mentally convinced himself that Tom Aspinall isn't worth anything. Not that, yes, he doesn't want to lose. That is a big part of it too. But I think he genuinely convinced himself. He's this delusion that Tom Aspinall is nowhere the name of he is. Tom is catching up big time. Big time. But maybe there is a point there, not with Aspinall, but the UFC has had a problem with promoting recently. In recent years in general, Dana White has not been as involved, hasn't been as, like, I don't know. He just, like, his way of promoting is just starting Instagram live with his phone and announcing fights. he doesn't go out of his way to promote past that anymore. It's kind of wild. Really, the only things that the UFC do for promotion is repost knockouts that happened a couple years ago for the fighter that is fighting that night. So maybe there is a point, and maybe that's why the UFC is acting so desperate, because it is clear that Jon Jones does not respect the UFC. But the UFC constantly glazes Jon Jones and tries to push him as the greatest of all time, despite all the domestic abuse, despite all the steroid use. They want to push him as the GOAT, and they will sacrifice building future people like Tom Aspinall to promote Jon Jones, who doesn't even respect the company. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing on the UFC's part. They're in a one-sided relationship right now. Completely one-sided. One side's giving energy and one side's not. Like, it's almost like even the UFC believes that they don't have a lot of big fights, because, what, besides Islam and JDM, it's not even Islam and Ilya anymore. That's probably the biggest fight that they have right now. And the biggest fight that they could have is Jones versus Aspinall, and they know that, and they're trying not to let it go. But Jon Jones is embarrassing them, and he's kind of proven his point, because they're acting desperate for a big fight, like they don't have that big fight. It really does feel like the UFC is becoming less popular, and the names are starting to become less and less of a big deal. Especially if somebody like Jon Jones, supposed to be the GOAT of the sport, isn't fucking fighting. And you're just letting him sit there and do what he wants. And you know what is the most annoying thing? Jon Jones fans. Oh, it's Jon Jones, let him do what he wants. Do you want his meat in your mouth? Do you want his meat do you want his Johnny meat in your mouth? Like, yeah, listen to yourself, bro. Listen to yourself. Let him do what he wants. He's Jon Jones. He's Jon Jones. Let him do what he wants. He's a champion in the UFC, bro. No special treatment. Like, come on now. You're going to have the belt and you just... Oh, he doesn't need to defend the belt because he's Jon Jones. He doesn't need to defend the belt. What are you talking about? Let him be... I'm not going to say that. Let him do stuff in Thailand. Like, it is the most frustrating thing, bro. They have a man crush... They have a man crush Monday on Jon Jones because he had some nasty ground and pound finishes 10 years ago. He's not even a good trash talker. Jon Jones is not even, like, the best, like, trash talker or anything like that. Or, like, he has some cold lines because he's a psychopath, and he just shows that he's a psychopath sometimes. But besides that, he's not even that interesting of a trash talker. It is easily, like, you could easily say Tom Aspinall is more interesting as Jon Jones as a fighter. He has a YouTube channel. His trash talk is good when he gets angry. For the most part, he's respectful. But the stuff with Jon Jones he's been doing recently has been funny. So, yeah, man, this is just embarrassing for the UFC. They need to strip Jon Jones ASAP for their reputation. But it's already too late. They've already embarrassed themselves. Now, fighters know when they have leverage and they love them, they know that they could just play the UFC like a fiddle. Dana White used to have an iron fist over the fighters. Now the fighters have an iron fist over Dana White. Such a sad situation. Strip Jon Jones. Even if the thing gets to 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 signatures, they might just not listen. That's why Jon Jones has actively posted it. They know it doesn't mean shit. You think Dana's going to look at an online petition and make a decision? No. He might not even have the main say anymore. TKO might be completely taking over the UFC and ruining. I don't know, because I like what they're doing with the WWE. It's just shit right now. It's shit. This year has not been great, and this is supposed to be the cream of the crop fight this year, and Jon Jones doesn't want it. And they don't have the balls to say, you know what, fuck you, Jon, we'll move on. Because they want the fight that bad. They know that's the only thing they got. So, yeah, man, this is just ridiculous. But anyways, man, I'm done. I'm done talking about this until the fight is announced or something, or not announced or stripped. I don't even want to make a video of Jon Jones gets stripped. Like, what am I just going to be like, oh, thank you so much, Dana? No, like, I don't want to make another video on this unless it's a prediction for Jones versus Aspinall or Aspinall's next fight. Because, damn, bro, I'm over this. 3 or 4 videos of this. And it's just frustrating because Jones's behavior, man, is almost childish. It really is. It's the most petty shit in the world. He is actively ruining Tom Aspinall's prime. Like, because he just can because of UFC, man. It is awful, but that's all I had to say, man. Make sure you guys like the video if you enjoyed. If you disagree with any of my comments, please let me know down below. Subscribe, turn on notifications, all that. I'm still a small channel trying to grow, so I appreciate all of you. If you want to follow any of my socials, all of them are in the description if you want to see any more personal stuff. But that's all I got to say today, man. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you. And peace out.
Yeah, they call me fucking pain. You steady fucking switching, stay up in your fucking lane. And shorty super soaker, I can hit your ass from range. Shorty throwing ass and you knowin' where it going. Steady sipping codeine, yeah, you knowin' in my potion. That ass is like Cobra, cause you throwing it in motion. Oh, we fucking lurking, oh, we creeping around and roaming. When you fucking see me, yeah, our mouth is fucking foaming. Pull up to the club and we getting really